you effect is pleased to have with us Jorge Hernandez, founder of Darelicious. Now, Jorge, would you like to explain to us a little bit what Darelicious is?
I'll give you the quick pitch. Darelicious is the online destination where you can dare yourself, a friend, or even a celebrity to take on a dare, all while earning money for you or your favorite charity or cause.
Now, I love this because I love trying to make social good fun and cool. And I don't think there's any better way to do that than Darelicious and literally making a game and daring your friends to do fun things to raise money for a cause. Where did this inspiration come from?
I was at a student at UCLA Anderson, which is the business school at UCLA. And they have a funny thing. Whenever there's a student-run meeting or something, they deliver pizza. But the funny thing is they deliver like way more red pepper than pizza. So somebody, just kind of being a smart aleck, took a stack of these red pepper packets and said, Jorge, I dare you to eat all this red pepper. How much would I have to pay you? And somebody said, I'll give you $20. And they laughed. And somebody said, I'll give you $20. And before you know it, it kept going on and on and on, where people said they would each give me $20. And around that time, I was really interested in crowdfunding as well. So we all got a good laugh out of it, left. And by the time I got to the garage, I said, oh, wait a minute, what just happened there? Like that. That's really crowdfunding at its best, right? Everybody sort of pitching in to see something common. And so I thought, okay, how can we recreate that experience online, but also do some social good with it as well?
Well, crowdfunding is such a prominent trend, especially for young entrepreneurs, but it's very hard to navigate it. Sometimes people think it's very easy. We'll just post a crowdfunding campaign, but it's not. It's a lot of work. You have to really push at it on all social media fronts, and it's really hard sometimes to make them effective. What have you had experience in that realm?
Yeah, so I'm actually glad you said this, because a lot of people do think it's kind of that if I build it, they will come. You just put it there, and people are just going to automatically throw money at you. But it doesn't work like that, because it always starts with your own social circle. Like that's where all of these projects start. And we found the people that are like most effective at this really put some effort in. Like they put a video up. They give a long description. They update people. They're constantly, on their social media and just trying to create any kind of awareness they can. And I think the key element is they create a real sort of emotional attachment to this project that their circle, whether it be like, whether you're just a student and it's your friends, or whether you're a celebrity, people that care about you tap into that. They see how important this is to you, and it becomes important to them.
In many ways, your system, although it's to fundraise and to crowdsource in some ways, it's also has benefit to the individual and empowerment in a lot of ways, and self-esteem of being able to, for maybe that introvert to realize that there are more people out there that care about them or their passions, and their circle isn't as small as they think. Like you said, crowdfunding is based on that social circle. But what if you're an individual who doesn't have a large social circle? How do you make that connect?
Well, it's funny by the way, you should come work for us, because you pitched this perfectly. So it's funny you mention this though, because what I say to that is nobody lives in a vacuum, right? Everybody knows somebody. It's just a matter of how, it's a matter of relative size, right? Everybody, Some people are more, obviously you're very gregarious, you're well known, you're going to have a larger social circle than somebody who's introverted and who's not in entertainment. But that doesn't mean that they live on an island where nobody knows them. So there's always, with virtually everybody has somebody or a group of people that care about them. And that's where it has to start. It has to start amongst those individuals, whether it's just, 10 people, or whether it's 100 people or 1,000 or 1,000,000 or whatever the multiple is.
And it really is, in some ways, that it's the risk factors. It's kind of giving an individual the support and the comfort that they need to take maybe certain steps and risks in their lives. And I think as young people or as young entrepreneurs, that's a very scary thing for us. We're always pressured a lot of the times to excel at so many things that it's very hard for us to take those pivot point decisions and put ourselves out there. And a dare is in a lot of ways a symbol of that. You're putting yourself out there for the world, and you're taking that risk or taking that step.
I think what it does is it gives them a context to do that in as safe an environment as possible, right? They're doing it for a cause, because some of it can be a little funny or something like that. They're giving themselves license to be a little goofy, whereas if they just did it without any of those other sorts of attributes, they probably would feel a little bit weird about it.
Darelicious is really taking off and becoming quite phenomenal. So how did you what were those first couple steps, kind of like getting out of the gate for a young entrepreneur who has an idea like yours?
I think the if I can leave just one word with people, it would be tenacity. Like you just have to you're going to get knocked down. People are going to tell you your idea. And again, people are going to tell you your idea isn't good. If they have some good constructive criticism, like take that in, right? I mean, obviously if somebody's motivated to just tear you down, you can ignore that. But if somebody comes to you with, with a sincere message of like, hey, I think you've got something cool, but you really need to think about these things, that's really valuable advice. But at the end of the day, you just have to be tenacious, because if this were easy, everybody do it. And it's not easy. And
you're so positive and you're following your passion. You're really kind of carving the way for us younger entrepreneurs to realize that to find success, you have to first find what personally satisfies and motivates you.
Exactly. And
move on from there.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for being with us today. It is truly inspirational what you're doing. You're really taking strides forward in redefining what social good and fundraising can be and how it can be fun. So thank you so much for sharing your story and Darelicious with us.
Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
We had a stay-at-home mom who, as a child, she was kind of humiliated when it came to sports. People just told her she wasn't good at it, so she had a lot of anxiety about it. She just grew up thinking of herself as like that's not anything that she could do. She actually used Darelicious as sort of the catalyst to get her over that. Her dare was she dared herself to do a 5K and a 75-story stair climb, which to a lot of people doesn't sound terribly daring, right? But to her, it was incredible. It was an incredible act of daring, and people just came out of the woodwork. So she was actually blown away by the kind of support she got.